make my stay easier.
Let me ask you a hypothetical. I know I presented you with one when we met. We were out a couple of months ago, but another thought. 12 years later, all this stuff still following you around. If I could give you a hypothetical scenario to rewind time, and here's the deal: you do 2 years, not for any kind of guilt, just some type of penance, and then what I'm going to be able to offer you at the end of that 2 years is none of this stigma. It all goes away. You complete clean slate in everyone's mind. Would it be worth giving up just a small portion of freedom so that you're not still dealing with some of this stuff today?
That's a good hypothetical. I mean, my first reaction when you start saying it was yeah, but then my reaction is I cannot spend another 2 years away from my family and kids. I wouldn't do it. But I'm not having a tough time. See, that's the misconception. Is I saw where this TMZ, which is the National Enquirer, really, they had a film of me walking out of a club, and there was a big crowd out there, and they were there with the cameras, and some security guys were helping me get through the crowd, right? Of course, they reported it that I was so drunk that I needed help, and that evidently the pressures of the Goldmans is getting the OJs finally beginning to show. Hey, I don't feel any pressures from them. I mean, I feel they're doing what they feel they got to do, and I defend myself. And they have a lot of frivolous things that they do now in court with me. The least little thing is a court action. But now I have a group of lawyers who support me and do work for me. Some of it pro bono, and I'm able to defend it. But I defend their right to do what they're doing, and I just move on with my life. I can't think of it one way or the other, negative or not. So yeah, if I can do 2 years and make everybody know the truth and feel the truth about me, in a heartbeat,
Yeah.
If it took that to get them to accept my innocence, yes. If it took that for them just not to talk about me, I could care less. I don't hear the negative talk anyway.
OJ, if Fred Goldman ends up releasing this book, and if he changes it, if he adds to it, if he embellishes it,
I don't think he can.
But he's talked about doing it.
Well, I'm sure his lawyers have told him that.
Well, that's where I want to go with this. If he were to do something like that, would you actively seek to maintain your name? Could you be in a weird position of actually suing him for slander or
I guess so.
something I'm
I
saying?
would guess so.
Or would you care?
I guess I could, but the point is this: then it wouldn't be my book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody wants to buy Fred Goldman's book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think his book sold. So I mean, if he wants, I wish he would. To be honest, I mean, in many ways, because. I think the hypocrisy that has come from his actions on this, getting the support of so many people, including the Brown family. I got to admit, even my kids, they were glad the book wasn't coming out. And then turning around and doing exactly what he accused Rupert Murdoch and Judith Reagan and anybody involved with the product of being, money hungry, insensitive jackals, and now he is doing exactly what they were doing for the money. So it's I don't think he will ever again in the future be able to mount that moral indignation, take that stand anymore, and have the public really support him.
OJ Simpson with us in studio. OJ, what is dating like? You're single? You've stayed single?
Yeah, I've dated on and off, and I've, for the most part, over the last 10 years, I've dated on and off one girl. I may have gone out on dates when I wasn't dating her. Currently, I stopped dating her a couple of months ago. We stopped dating. She had to deal with some issues, but she's dealing with those issues. And as a matter of fact, I was talking to her as I came in here to see how she was doing. And she's been my friend for 10 years, and I'm trying to be her friend now. And where that might go, who knows? I mean, we may be dating again before you know it.
I heard you mention something the last couple of days, a story I had never heard before, and it particularly shocked me that I had never heard it because I knew the other person who it was about when they were alive. The last couple of years of his life, I was fairly good friends with Rick James.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's no longer with us. I had no idea you had any kind of connection to him, and I heard you tell a story that I thought I knew this case. I had no idea Rick James had anything to do with it. What was the story?
Well, first of all, understand Rick James is from Buffalo.
Yes.
So I met Rick James years ago in Buffalo, and on occasion I would see Rick in Los Angeles, and we'd go out, because of the Buffalo connection. What happened was, they're big. The police are big and used in jailhouse confessions. Almost every case you see, some guy's in jail and he allegedly confessed to some total stranger in the cell, and they give that guy a break on his sentence if he comes to court and testifies. Well, they couldn't use that trick with me because I was in solitary. One night, it was about 11 o'clock, they're coming to my room. I mean, it's after bedtime, and I wonder what the heck is going on. They said, OJ, you got to go to the attorney room. And I'm like, what? The attorney room is closed. I don't know what's going on? I'm thinking, well, maybe maybe they had a break in the case, right? So I go there, and it's Johnny Cochran. And Johnny, you got to realize, was a DA. He was William Hodgman's mentor, who was the head DA in my case, one of the head DAs down there. So Johnny had a lot of friends in the DA's office. So Johnny said, listen to me, OJ, just listen. They're bringing Rick James down. Rick was in jail, and he was trying to shorten his sentence. So allegedly, they were bringing him down to have a hearing to shorten his sentence. And they're going to put him near you. And he is going to tell them that you did some kind of confession. They're trying to use a trick, and as I get it, he's going to testify that you're going to confess to him. He says, OJ, I'm attacking him. I'm going to try to stop it. I'm going to try to stop him from even getting there. But in case I don't, if he comes in there, don't say a word to him. Don't even say hi. They got that camera on you full time outside your cell. Make sure that camera can see you. And he says, OJ, don't even sing. Don't even make it look like you're saying anything. And by tomorrow, I'll have this thing covered, right? Well, evidently, Johnny got it covered, and Rick was never put in where I was. But he did. It was funny. He got out of jail, and I never really knew him that well. And he did do a National Enquirer story implying, I don't know what he was implying, just implying he knew me and he saw my anger or something. I don't know. Yeah. But most people have never seen me get mad.
Well, Rick had several periods of his life where he was a bit out of sorts. So
well, I think, what it is. I saw it. I mean, I have a friend in Miami. His name is Mercury Morris.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still, I'm forgiven Mercury, right? Mm-hmm. But I get, when I'm first out, my buddy Al Collins called me and said, OJ, Mercury Morris is trying to get a hold of you, right? And I said, oh, yeah, Mark. He said, he really needs to talk to you. He's got something that he really needs to tell you, and here's the number to call. I don't know what happened. I got busy, and I forgot to call, right? And I lost the number. I don't know. But about 3 days later, he calls me again. He says, Mark, he really has to talk to you. Oh, I said, oh, man, I forgot to call Mark, right? I said, you got that number? I don't know what I did. But he says, I think I got it at home. I'll call you with it at home. And in the event, he forgot to call me back with the number, right? That Thursday, the National Enquirer came out. One of the tabloids came out with Mercury Morris. You remember, he ended up going on a Rollo and everything. Mercury Morris says OJ Simpson confesses to him. Right? Now, you got to understand, I haven't seen Mercury Morris in about 8-9 years, right? But he was a friend. If I saw him, we would have been friends. And I'm trying to, and he's on a Rollo. And fortunately, it was one of the few times I saw a Rollo show some integrity, because a Rollo kept questioning, why would he tell you this? No, why? Doesn't seem like it makes much sense that he would say this to you. And Mercury was saying that, well, it was. I guess he wanted to talk to somebody that he knew from the past that wasn't in his life all the time. It was a fresh ear, But then I realized what why he was pushing for me to call him, so he can show the phone record that he had actually spoke to me, to kind of verify his story. But I was well aware that Mercury was having a major drug problem during this period of time, and it was probably motivated by money and the drug problem.